Hey guys, welcome back to Sin's Gaming Channel, and today I would like to talk about the Total War series and why I won't and you shouldn't buy the new DLC they announced for Total War Rome 2. Now, I've been playing a little bit with the new beta patch called Power and Politics, and during the game I noticed that they still haven't fixed the slowdowns that will happen during big battles and especially during siege battles where your FPS will drop to one digits and to bring the game really to a crawl. And that's not because of me having a bad computer, which is not the case, but because their AI script is still broken, and in some situations the AI script will break down the game entirely, and then this one-digit FPS problem will occur. And I think it is an insult to us Total War fans who have spent countless amounts of money over the years. Just in my case, I own every Total War game, including most of the DLCs, not all, but most of the DLCs and expansions since Rome Total War. And yeah, I think it is really insulting to see that Creative Assembly keeps pushing out new games while never fixing the old ones, first of all, but now they're going so far as to push out new content for those old games that have never been fixed. Like in this case, Rome 2, where big battles become a real chore because of these slowdowns. And I'm not just talking about single digit FPS, I'm talking about the game slowing down below normal speed, which makes it like a slideshow, and you can just hope that the AI breaks quickly. But in some cases, this is not the case, and battles can go on for tens of minutes extra um, further than they would in normal. So I think it's really insulting again that they would push out new content. And I mean, it's not the first one. It's they have from Rome 2 they had the Augustus, which came. I think if it, I don't know if it. I think it was part of the Emperor edition, but you had to pay for that as well. I think. Then you have Caesar in Gaul, Hannibal at the gates, Sparta, whatever, and each of these cost money. I mean, the expansions alone they cost as much as the game combined, if you combine them. And yeah, so now I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years later, they release yet again an expansion, which, by the way, if you look at it, it's called Empire Divided. It plays around 300 AD. Um, what's the point? I mean, seriously, if you want to have an Empire Divided, why just don't play the Augustus campaign? There you have the Roman Empire divided by three from the Triumvirate between Lepidus, Antony, and Octavian. So I don't know what exactly the difference is here, but that aside that I don't think it had any point in this campaign. Yeah, the game has not been fixed. They released this new patch that adds new politics, which is nice. It's a nice feature, but it is not all that big actually in game. The only difference is now that you can see at what point faction in your own faction, another political party, will risk to succeed because you did this or that or didn't do whatever, depending on the traits, etc. You can watch my videos on that on the my let's plays, where you will see the exact impact that those different party systems have, the traits and whatever. But anyway, they did not fix the AI, and if you think about it, they never did. And I'm not talking about Rome 2, I'm talking about all the Total War games. I mean, remember in Rome, the first one, you could hold siege battles and you win against overwhelming forces by just blocking the the city center with a couple spearmen and a couple javelins, and you could win against huge numbers because they would just repeatedly break and flee, and you just stand there and do nothing. Or Empire, which personally is my favorite in the setting, more or less, but which is to this day basically unplayable because of the bug with the Ottomans. So unless you play the Ottomans yourself or you conquer the Ottomans or the territory of the Ottomans quickly, you will end up with dozens or even more one army, one unit stacks of Ottomans who block each other, and then the whole game just breaks down, and it takes several minutes for each turn. And yeah, I mean now we look at the new games, the Warhammer, which I both own. Again, I own all of these Total War games, and that's why I think it's time to really make a point as to not buy new DLCs for the existing games until CA finally comes around and fixes, or at least tries to fix or better the games, instead of just adding new content over the broken engine. For example, like I said, in the new Warhammer games, you can see that it's really bad. Is that the AI is basically non-existent. Basically, what the AI does is just attack front with its entire front, just moves towards your troops. The only thing that is more or less scripted in this is that you have cavalry trying to flank your troops, go for your backside or whatever. But that's the max. That's the extent of their attempt to have any kind of AI in their games. And for example, they added, I think that was in Shogun the first time, Shogun 2, where your troops could basically just climb the enemy walls without having to have any siege engines or whatever. And in Warhammer, it's the same thing. First of all, in Warhammer, one of the worst things I think is that all the walls in all the fortresses and settlements are the same, and that really shouldn't be. A level 1 settlement and level 5 settlement should not have the same walls. It should be a lot more difficult to climb a wall of a level 5 settlement. Remember in Total War in Rome, where you had these epic walls which were so high you could barely see above it because you couldn't zoom out far enough, and it was really difficult to conquer these walls. But in Warhammer, for example, level 5 doesn't matter. Just run towards the wall and climb it with your ladder, and all is fine. So this is a lot of proof, and really proof that they, instead of improving the AI, they're just removing the AI and make it a very simple script. So what happens now in Rome 2 won't happen again in later games. But I think that just cannot stand. I think they should really, instead of working all the time of reskinning their games like it was Call of Duty. Seriously, this is what happens here. Total War becomes the Call of Duty of strategy, and it really saddens me. And now, if you watch the new games series Saga, it's exactly what will happen. They will just pushing out new skins for their same game over and over and over, cash in on very little work, and not advancing the series as a whole. Instead, they will just cheapen down the series more and more, make it more casual and more appealing, which only thing they really do is actually making it easier because of this lack of AI. They really gave up on the AI. They really gave up on fixing their bugs. That instead of fixing their bugs, they just remove what could cause a bug. So instead of fixing the AI to make it a real adversary in your games, they just make it so dumb and make it cheat so much that it just by sheer numbers has a chance against you. The AI in a one-on-one battle, the AI, the only chance they have is by cheating the hell out of it and by having 4, 5, 6 times more gold than you, more armies than you, whatever. And this is really something. This is really something that needs fixing. So I really advise you to not buy any new DLCs from Creative Assembly for the Total War series until they fix this, or at least make a statement about why they can't fix it. Either one would be fine. At least tell us. Let us know why. So thanks for watching, and I hope you don't hate me. If you don't, please like, share and subscribe. And I hope I see you next time. Bye.